Sing for you, sing for you. Yeah. Sing it out loud. Sing for you, sing for you. Edson Mitchell General. I'm in love with this track. You realize that, right? Good morning to all the wonderful folks within our Tri-Island state. Good morning to those of you in the Eastern Caribbean. My friends in Guyana, good morning. The folks in the diaspora, good morning to you. Howdy do. Hope you had a great weekend. Reminding you that the struggle is real, eh? There are still folks out there who wonders, what am I going to feed the children with this morning? Yeah, we do have situations like that. Where there are those who wonder which vehicle they should go to work with this morning, you know. Should I go with the van? Should I go with the car? Should I go with the, which of the cars? There are still folks out there who wonder, what am I giving the picnics them this morning? You know what I'm saying? It's so important to empathize, interchange positions. Put yourself in someone's position and see how it feels. Yeah. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are we doing this morning? It's a wonderful looking Monday morning. Had a peek outside just a while ago while the obituaries was on. And it's a good day. Good morning to you, Mary E. Banks. How are you doing this morning? Hope you're doing fine. Donette Lewis is saying good morning. Good morning, Donette. Hope you're doing fine. And all those of you, wherever you are, Arthur Langan, my bro, I'm saying it to you this morning before you say it to me. Good morning. What's the weather like in Brooklyn? I saw the folks from the NDC Grenada chapter but collaborating with the New York chapter as they had a big celebration out there over the weekend. Saw all my friends up there. Yeah. Mr. Larry Barry, good morning to you and the family. Marva Moore says, bless morning, bless. Marva, good morning. That's nice. Seeing some new names. Good. Whether you like to believe it or not, Grenada is still the best place in the world. Have you been able to look at the news over the weekend? Well, where I was, I had the privilege of looking at the television. All right, Donette says it's getting cold in Brooklyn. All right, Donette. If it's getting cold, you can always come home, right? Yeah, you can always come home. You can cut the vacation short. Okay, 24 minutes on to 7 o'clock. Let's get with the program this morning. And before we go further, let me tell you that we do have guests this morning. We have members from the Grenada Housing Authority. All right. A gentleman will be here with us this morning. Not members, but a member from the Grenada Housing Authority. All right. A gentleman will be here with us this morning. Not members, but a member from the Grenada Housing Authority. And we look forward to that. Devani Leo says good morning from New Jersey. Wow. Nice. I was looking at the television and I saw what's happening in Israel, man. Oh my goodness. Wow. Catherine Phillip, good morning, Grenada. Good morning, innocent. Let us be thankful for the gift of life. Yes, we ought to be thankful. Okay, nice. Let's Camila Antoine. Good morning, boss. Top of the beautiful morning to the listening public. Okay, thank you, Camila. Sylvina Charles is here. Good morning. Blessed morning, Innocent. How was worship yesterday? Had a great workshop at mine, the People's Church in St. Paul's. Okay, that's nice. Was unable to go to church yesterday, man. Yeah, but I praised him where I was. In my confinement, in my confined location. Yeah. Okay, let's get with the program, or else we'll get stuck here. The word of the day today, it is a noun. It is a naming word. The word is juncture. 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 That's a nice word. I like that word. Now, juncture refers to an important point in a process or activity, or to a junction, that is, a place where things join. Here's how we can use this word. At this juncture, the editing process, said Philip. At this juncture, in the editing process, said Philip, it is important that all facts have been double-checked and sources verified. At this point, we can also say at the juncture of the two rivers sits a large beaver's dam. So remember that juncture, Juncture, it is the word of the day, and it refers to an important point in a process or activity, or to a junction, that is, a place where things join. Good morning to Nadisha. This is your time. Yeah, Nadisha loves the thought of the day. And whenever I'm doing that, I say good morning to Cafe. The folks inside of Cafe and the surrounding areas. Crushu, Mama Can, Felix Park, Bacolet, Hope. Good morning. Yeah, here's the word of the day. It says, time is the coin of your life. It is the only coin you have, and only you can determine how it will be spent. Be careful lest you let other people spend it for you. Time. Time is the coin of your life. It is the only coin you have, and only you can determine how it will be spent. Be careful lest you let other people spend it for you. Don't let other people spend your time, waste your time. Be in control of your time. 20 minutes on to 7 o'clock. All right, buzzing this morning, of course, reminding you that the hunting season is open. The animals involved, primarily the manikou, the tatou, the iguana, the rami, and the monkey. Alright, so if you're game hunting or you're hunting for profit, whatever, also be mindful that while hunting, you could be, infringing on other people or trespassing on other people's property, and you would always want to seek their permission first, okay? We don't want any confrontations that could lead to violence and court and all this kind of thing on them. So if you're going to hunt in somebody's land, be courteous enough to ask for permission, all right? Yeah. Do that, okay? Don't go climbing over people's fences and barricades to hunt. You can find yourself on the other side of the law. So be mindful of that. Want to say happy belated birthday to two wonderful people, man. Rhino, yeah, Mr. What was his name again? Mr. Langdon out there in Apretut, and also our beloved Prime Minister, Honorable Deacon Mitchell. Yesterday was their birthday. So happy birthday to both of you. What, Rhino, you're born on a big Monday, boy. Yeah. Well, he should have been back Friday from Qatar. So I hope you all had a drink up, Yeah, had a little drink up. And he might just do that. So belated happy birthday to you both, Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell and also Mr. Langdon out there. We call him Rhino out there in Apretut. Also buzzing this morning, well, congratulations are in order for the Grenada national netball team as they won the just concluded ECCB tournament out there in Antigua. right, Grenada also got some, special mentions, special awards: best shooter, best defender, and most disciplined team. Kathy Ann, good morning to you. I know. Well, I expect nothing less. As Kathy Ann as head coach / manager and so forth, once she's part of the team, we can expect this sort of thing. Congratulations to the entire team. It was a team effort. Netball is a team sport, right? So congratulations. Also reminding you that the Methodist Church in Grenada is collaborating with the Ministry of Education to host 2 in-person mathematics workshops for secondary school teachers. Will be facilitated by Singapore's renowned mathematics guru, Dr. Yap Banhar. Yap Banhar. Okay, so we look forward to that. Also, Con Festival 2023 is on, as organizers confirm that for the 8th year, they will be hosting the event on the Sister Isle of Carriacou. The family event is anticipated to be grand, as many participants near and far are expected to attend. Corn Festival, that's good, I like that. I would like to see a breadfruit fest too, Yeah. Now, John Crow, a Grenadian living in the U.S., is once again positively impacting the lives of the elderly, differently abled, and vulnerable people in Grenada. For the 4th year, Crow has donated assistive devices and other medical items to be distributed across the nation. Thank you on behalf of Grenada. Thank you, Mr. Crow. Thank you. Now, a little education on how to protect yourself against scammers. Scammers manipulate emotions and take advantage of situations and circumstances. Now, that was coming from CSERT, okay? A new date set for the launch of Grenada's Golden Jubilee. October 31st is the new date for the launch of activities to celebrate Grenada's 50th anniversary of independence. Yeah, it was kind of getting controversial with this 19th of October thing, you understand? All right, now we heard the sad news last week of a vehicular accident in La Potre in St. Andrew on Thursday, to be precise, that left a 2-year-old boy dead. The toddler, who celebrated his 2nd birthday on Saturday, was struck down by a well-known passenger bus and rushed to the Princess Alice Hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. Sad news. Those are the buzzing stories this morning. Like I said, we do have a guest. We have a representative from the Grenada Housing Authority, and so we are looking forward to that. And then we'll see what time we have left that we can have a conversation, okay? So this is where we take the break. We've got to do the AM edition of News, Sports, and the Weather here on Classic. Those of you who are on the television platform, we have a rebroadcast of Friday evening's television news. Stick and stay with us. We'll be back. Don't you go anywhere.
But when you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. Oh, I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me, yes, I can. Whenever you're in need, just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide, the light that shines our way. Wherever you road leads, we'll be right there with you. Wherever you road leads, we'll make your dreams come true. Next time, next time, next time, next to you.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads. Thanks for joining us. Corn Festival 2023 is on, as organizers confirm that for the 8th year, they will be hosting the event on the sister isle of Carriacou. The family event is anticipated to be grand, as many participants near and far are expected to attend. More details in this report.
Known for growing a large quantity of corn, Carriacou will display a variety of products prepared from corn, including cuckoo, cornbread, corn cake, and corn porridge. The 2023 Corn Festival, being organized under the theme Discover and Relish Corn's Goodness, will be held on Sunday the 29th of October. Coordinator of this event, Dexter Lagarde, noted that Cornfest 2023 is again intended to inspire and encourage community togetherness while exploring the variety of products derived from corn.
We have done it in a way that it's also an educational event, so that most of the cooking and preparation is done on the same day at the venue, so that we encourage persons to come and see how, for example, you roll the cuckoo, or you patch the corn and make the asham, or you grind the green corn to make the dumpling, or you prepare the dumpling itself. So all of that is done on the day, so persons don't just come to eat, but you come on your lawn and you can see and understand the whole processes involved in preparing the different dishes.
Corn was the prominent staple food enjoyed by ancestors and is a prominent feature at the island's traditional Saraka smoked food. The one-day event at the popular Footprint Bar close to the Lauriston Airport will also showcase a number of Carriacou's cultural tradition, including string band music and maple dancing.
What I've always done is to try and make the day an eventful day. As I said, so we don't just want people to think they're just coming to buy corn product and eat. You have entertainment. You have the beach. So we, for example, would have maple dancing. We have the steel pan this year. We have some quadrille. We have the string band, the famous string band music. And so you come and you'll be entertained and you entertain and you eat. And then the other thing is, you can, as I say, you can make it an entire family event. So you could come from early o'clock morning time and you'll be able to get breakfast, lunch, dinner, and all three totally different dishes for all three of the meals for the day.
Lagarde is hoping that Cornfest will continue to be a feature on the island's cultural calendar. He encouraged everyone to come out and support the annual event.
Much as it's a one-day event, Carriacou is always buzzing. Carriacou is always busy when it comes to the weekend and activities and culture. So we don't just want people to think that it's just coming for a one-day event, but they come to spend for those of you who are going to be visiting, come to spend the weekend in Carriacou. There are going to be a lot of activities that weekend in Carriacou to ensure that you have a good time. And so we just really want to encourage us to be part of the event.
For GBN News, I am Rena P. Thomas reporting.
Well, the Ministry of Agriculture and Lands, Fisheries and Cooperatives has outlined a number of activities to mark the observance of World Food Day 2023. There's more in this report.
World Food Day celebrations is observed internationally on October 16 in collaboration with the Food and Agriculture Organization, the FAO. This year's celebration in Grenada will run from October the 16th to the 20th and will climax with an official ceremony and exhibition in Grenville. The theme for this year's celebration is Water is Life, Water is Food, Leave No One Behind.
So we're having a week of activities that will encompass the theme and really put focus on water in agriculture, water at our homes, the marine economy, and to ensure that we sustainably manage the water that we have.
Senior Agriculture Officer attached to the Extension Department of the Ministry of Agriculture and Chairperson of the World Food Day Committee, Lauren St. Louis, outlined the activities for the week.
Our minister will address the nation surrounding the theme, and we will have a panel discussion which will be held at the Grenada Trade Center. On our Tuesday, we're doing an Eat in Water campaign where we will be distributing watermelons and cantaloupes, five fingers, other fruits at the at various bus terminals, and we will also be asking our students and our teachers to have watermelons and that sort of fruit at the schools. On Wednesday, we will have another discourse on water. This one will be a virtual discourse on water.
The activities will provide opportunities for farmers, agro-processors, and value chain partners to display their produce and products, establish networks, and strengthen bonds.
On Thursday, we will focus on the marine economy, the blue economy. On Friday, with our exhibition. The exhibition will encompass agro-processors, input suppliers, anybody who wants to come and display what they have and sell what they have. The schools will be exhibiting, the 4-H clubs. We will have Ministry of Agriculture, of course, will have their display. And any other interested persons who would like to take part, we will soon have our registration form that we will place on our Facebook page. We will also place it at the Extension district offices. So you can collect one there, fill it out, and ensure that it gets back to us. We will have performances from local acts. We will try to have the Royal Grenada Police Force Band.
The general public is invited to be part of the celebrations. Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
Now, pensioners have started receiving their increased monthly payments consistent with the increase agreed upon for public sector workers. As of September 2023, pensioners' payments have been updated to reflect a 4% increase for 2023. According to a release from the Ministry of Finance, the 4% increase applies to the period January 1 to December 31, 2023. Pensioners are advised that their short payments for the period January 1 to August 31, 2023 will be made by the next pay cycle, October 15, 2023. A little education this evening on how to protect yourself against scammers. Scammers manipulate emotions and take advantage of situations and circumstances. My colleague Christina John has been speaking with Jervis Dabrio, coordinator of the Grenada National Cyber Security Incident Response Team, on techniques used by scammers.
If a company pops up saying they're selling this and the prices seem too good to be true, take a step back, evaluate before you move forward. That entity should be able to prove to you that they are legit.
Jervis Dabrio, coordinator at the Grenada National Cybersecurity Incident Response Team. According to Dabrio, people need to understand what social proof is and to be able to recognize what it is when it is being used against them. With the continuous advancement in technology, Dabrio said it is easier for scammers to improve their reach and be able to take money from the pockets of individuals from miles away. The CSIRT coordinator outlined 7 strategies these bad actors employ to trap their victims and what people need to know to protect themselves.
They do. One, they use authority. So that is why you see some fake profiles popping up, whether it's as a government minister, governor general, some agent, wherever. But they would use that. Secondly, intimidation. So fear is employed to get you to react, to do something. Then you have scarcity. It's the last one. It's a limited time offer. You need to move on it or you would miss out. And that plays into the whole fear of missing out. If you don't act now, you would lose out on that opportunity. Then you have urgency, which ties in a little bit with scarcity. Normally, these 2 techniques are used together. Then you have familiarity. And in terms of the local scams, we see that happening. You see that happening where they present you with items that you are familiar with.
He added that they also employ known brands and social proof or consensus.
the local scams, whether it is Food Boss, whether it is Superior Cuisine, Superior Deals, GND, the whole Jamora Jack thing, social proof is heavily employed in these. This is where they would give you something or you win something and you have to record a video that is uploaded, and that is now used as proof to others out there that, hey, there are people just like me, they are able to capitalize on the opportunity, so maybe I should order, maybe I should invest, maybe I should take a chance on it, because if I don't, fear of missing out, I would miss out on it. And that is something we've seen across the board. All the local scams have always used social proof as one of their main ways of getting more and more people to get on board with it. And then you have number 7, the final one is trust.
People are cautioned to investigate and or evaluate any investment opportunities before undertaking any form of transactions.
Aliens understand these are the things that are used. They would understand, hey, when you rush, whether it's through email, text message, it makes sense to stop, take a step back, evaluate what is there before you move forward. How do we move forward as a people? Well, I believe the more people who are empowered, the more people who are aware of what these things look like, what to look out for, the better we are going to be able to safeguard ourselves and our loved ones from losing money, from having compromised accounts, compromised devices, falling victims to identity theft, identity fraud, or any of these other scams that are out there.
A reminder that you can reach out to the National Sea Search via WhatsApp on 423-2478, email csearchgnd@gov.gd, or via the other social media platforms. Christina John, GBN News.
John Crow, a Grenadian living in the United States, is once again positively impacting the lives of the elderly, differently abled, and vulnerable people in Grenada. For the 4th year, Crow has donated assistive devices and other medical items to be distributed across the nation. We get more in this report.
Hospitals, homes for the aged, and non-profit organizations are some of the beneficiaries of a 100-foot container filled with assistive devices, medical supplies, and beds. The items were shipped to Grenada by Grenadian John Crow, who for the past 4 years has been sending items to Grenada to assist marginalized groups on the island. Crow said each year he uses different organizations to distribute the items, and this year the Grenada Association for Retired People was chosen. He stated that he is happy with the impact this donation has been having on the lives of some Grenadians.
So currently today in particular, we're moving the items from the pier over to GAP. GAP is the agency that's handling this container. In the past we used GNCD. This time we're using GAP. Like I mentioned before, they're going to the nursing homes, to the senior centers, to the individuals who need them, and you try not to duplicate, give somebody you already gave before. The feedback I get, people who tell me that the mother got a bed, for instance, and or the uncle was, bedridden for a while and he got a wheelchair. A lady someplace in Guava, I think she got a walker, and she said, well, finally I'm able to leave my house. That she got the walker. So it is reaching. It is reaching. I mean, I wish I could do more, but you're limited in terms of resources and what have you. But nonetheless, I'm satisfied.
The Grenadian who lives in the U.S. received 90% of the items through donations from non-nationals and nationals of Grenada, along with organizations in the U.S. Ms. Jointa Washington, Vice President of GAP, updated GBN on the unpacking and distributing of the donated items.
And we have all the places that we have to distribute it throughout Grenada, all the parishes, different hospitals and clinics and homes, and the homes for the elderly. also Carriacou and Pitivatnik. Right now, the different homes are collecting their stuff. Everybody has to collect the stuff right here at GAP. So everybody will be collecting the stuff here. Some have already left with the stuff, and we are awaiting the others to come to collect them. So between now and by 3:30, we're supposed to be discussing with everything.
Bernadette Alexander, nursing assistant in Carriacou, is grateful for the items the Sister Isle received.
Happy to be receiving this stuff on behalf of the management and staff of Princess Royal Hospital Carriacou and the Top Hill Nursing Home. We are thankful to Mr. John Crow Alexander and his team from the U.S. for sending this needful item for us at this time. So thank you once again from the people of Carriacou.
For GBN News, I am Rena Pear Thomas reporting.
A well-known media personality has taken a bold step towards the empowerment of women through an event aimed to ignite passion, celebrate and connect women with a community of powerful women in one space. Here's the report.
Lexon Fletcher is the founder of Project You, a women's empowerment event. Fletcher told our news desk that the event is an enduring dream turned reality.
Project You is a lifelong dream. I mean, since I was a little girl, I've always loved getting involved in events and anything for girls and women. And you know, as my career progressed, I always was attracted to the story of the woman. So it ignited that passion in me, and it ignited that light bulb moment. And Project You essentially is a movement. It's a movement for women. It's a general movement for women.
Fletcher is collaborating with other like-minded professionals from different backgrounds to execute a half-day event that will generate conversation on various topics of interest to women, from beauty tips to financial advice, equipping attendees with the tools to take charge of their lives.
That's what Project You is about. It's saying we've got some ladies who are trailblazers, who've been there, done that, but not without failing at this or failing at that. And we want these stories to be shared. We want them to be told, and they're going to be told in that space. And this year we have two powerful keynote speakers who are born, bred Grenadian women who traveled. They have become so successful in their fields and from totally different worlds. One from HR and the corporate life, the other in beauty, in makeup artistry and beauty education. You know, they have their stories, and the keynote speakers will bring to life their stories.
The theme for the event is Nurturing Wellness. Pointing to a noticeable absence of events of this nature, Fletcher said her desire is to inspire and motivate women to gain power and control over their own lives and acquire the ability to make strategic choices.
We really want to bring together women to share. And also there's a focus on our panel discussion of mental health. You know, the grand picture of mental health as it affects women. It's not just a one, you know, should I say, something that affects someone, a one-off. You know, there are many various areas that women get affected. Mental health, there's postpartum depression, there's pre and post menopausal symptoms. And these negative energies have an effect on one's mental health. So we're going to dive deep into that.
According to Fletcher, an event such as this offers a secure space to have conversations while exposing women to a supportive network of women who can offer mentorship, encouragement, and guidance. The October 15th event will feature leading experts in their respective fields and will be held at the Trade Center Annex from 1 p.m. Fletcher says she anticipates growth going forward.
I see many things coming out of this one event, and it's not just one event. It will be an annual affair, and from this seed, there will be so many more branches.
Christina John, GBN News.
A 19-year-old Happy Hill resident who violated the terms of a 3-year bond imposed by a High Court judge for an indictable offense will have to wait a few more days to know the consequences of that action. His sentencing has been rescheduled to October 16. The decision was taken when the matter came up before Madam Justice Paula Guilford at the St. George's No. 1 High Court on Friday.
We pleaded with the court because of his age. He was 18 at the time. And the court agreed with us that this young man should be placed on probation with the proviso that he be on his best behavior. The probation department, the Ministry of Social Services, and myself, we tried everything we could to get him enrolled at NULO, the New Life organization. Because a young boy, 18 years old, idle, the devil's handiwork, who knows what would happen? Well, ultimately, the worst happened. Ivan and his brother robbed and terrorized the owner and the cashier at a bakery in Happy Hill, less than 500 yards from his home.
Attorney Jerry Edwin is providing legal counsel for Ivan Hyacinth, who violated the terms of his probation when he and his older brother Neil robbed a bakery in the Happy Hill community in April 2022, 18 months after the probation order was imposed.
They put masks in their face, covered up their heads, threw the cashier to the floor, stepped on her chest, menaced her with a cutlass, put a knife to her neck, and stole about $7,000. They took her telephone, they took her bag. They confessed all of this to the police.
Robbery with violence carries a maximum penalty of 15 years imprisonment. However, the Hyacinth brothers received a custodial 7-year prison term when the matter came up for sentencing on Thursday. Ivan now faces an additional sentence for breaking the bond, which was imposed for the serious offense, which cannot be revealed due to its sensitive nature.
You see the consequences for our society when young men, young offenders, believe that because the court has been considerate, because their lawyer has done everything to help them, that they are now scot-free. Justice Guilford will sentence young Ivan on that first case. I will again plead for him. When you're a big man, an adult, well, there is very little one can do, yes? But for young boys, I think all of us at the bar feel an obligation in society to help them to right their life. But it's a two-way affair, isn't it? That the young offender must take his own step to rehabilitate himself, especially if he has walked away without going into custody for an indictable offense.
The matter has been adjourned to October 16th for sentencing. For GBN News, I'm Nisha Paul.
During a search of a barrel bearing the name Ako Sandy at the St. George's Port on Tuesday, October 3, 2023, customs officers discovered 30 pounds of cannabis, which carry an estimated street value of 150,000 EC dollars. As a result, Mr. Sandy, a 31-year-old laborer of River Road, St. George, was subsequently arrested and charged by police for the offense of trafficking in a controlled drug. Mr. Sandy was brought to the St. George's Magistrates Court on Thursday, October 5, and was granted bail in the sum of $60,000 with 2 sureties. He is required to surrender all travel documents, seek permission from the court to travel out of the state of Grenada, and report to the Central Police Station every Wednesday and Friday between the hours of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. He's scheduled to return to court on April 2, 2024. The Grenada Broadcasting Network continues to share positive messages in recognition of Child Month through the GBN ISO lens.
A good eye captures all. GBN ISO is brought to you by Clear Vision.
is Gabriella Dragon, sharing her Child Month message on our GBN ISA platform.
Every child is a gift from God. Every child matters. Happy Child Month.
The theme for Child Month 2023 is Every Child Matters. See me, value me.
Children are like stars. They shine brightest when they are loved and valued.
See them and value them.
A child's imagination knows no bounds. Encourage them to dream big.
Let's teach our children that diversity is our strength.
Every child matters. See them, value them.
Let's paint a brighter future together this Child Month.
This is a message from the Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs.
There is a twist to this year's Child Month jersey in recognition of Grenada's 50th anniversary of independence. The national colors will be featured. The t-shirts will be red with green and gold text. Continue to share with us your photo and video submissions of your activities to mark Child Month via WhatsApp at 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
Corn! Yes, we're back! It's the 7th annual Corn Festival going down on Sunday, October 29th at the popular Footprint Bar behind Sand. Corn will be in all forms and fashions, from asham to roast corn to boiled corn, pay me to conky to corn soup and much more. With loads of entertainment and games for everyone. So be there from 2 p.m. because there will be loads of beach games, dominoes, maypole dancing, and string band music. Mark your calendar and make sure you're part of Cornfest 2023 on Sunday, October 29 at Footprint Bar, Lauriston, Carriacou. Our partners for this event are the Grenada Tourism Authority, the Antillean Group, Ministry of Carriacou and Petty Martinique Affairs, National Lotteries Authority, Arisa Credit Union, Massa, Grenadine Airways Limited, and Classic Caribbean Lighted. Cornfest 2023, October 29th. I'll see you there.
Introducing the NIS Dream Loan, where possibilities are boundless and your aspirations are our priority. No matter where life takes you, NIS Dream Loans are here to make your dreams a reality. From purchasing your first plot of land or dream property to renovating spaces, building your home, and seamlessly switching mortgages, we cater to every step of your journey. And here's what sets us apart. We offer easy financing options with competitive interest rates, quick approval processes, and flexible repayment terms. So why wait? Apply now and let our dedicated NIS team guide you through this exciting journey. Visit nisgrenada.org/dream loan or call 440-3309 to book an appointment. Terms and conditions apply. Your dream awaits.
Welcome, viewers and listeners. It's 15 minutes after 7 o'clock, and it's time for the conversation. Of course, I told you earlier that I do have a guest, and with me this morning is a distinguished gentleman. He is Mr. Hugh Thomas. He is the chairman of the Grenada Housing Authority. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
And how are you doing this morning?
I'm fine.
I hope we did not force you to get up earlier than normal.
No, not at all.
Okay. Well, I'm happy that you're here because there are so many misconceptions and misunderstandings and so many different angles of talks in the public's domain at the moment as it relates to what's happening in Housing Authority. I'd start off firstly by asking, how long have you been assigned with this position of chairman?
Maybe I would say about September of 2022, so it's just about 13 months.
Okay. And how has it been? I am not seeing many gray hairs as yet, just a few, so that means how has it been? What has the tenure been thus far?
Thus far, the first year we tried to understand what was happening with the Housing Authority, the board. We went in and dissect their revenue centers. And we finally got the audit done, and the audit report was done by Mr. Augustini's company for 2018 to 2021. And looking at that audit, we realized that there was a $3 million debt loss. By that audit, we haven't done audit for 2022 yet, and then we started to try to figure out where we leaking money, and look at, we sell blocks, we build homes, we're responsible for the low-income homes in Frequente, Monge, Soubise, and Dunfermline. And we try to understand where the finances are. And in analyzing everything, we look at what is the performance of the Housing Authority, and what are the complaints that Housing Authority getting. And we set up a system whereby we could analyze and do that. And then we had a gentleman do a special investigation into the low-income housing and all the complaints and what was wrong, what need to be fixed. And we had a press conference about maybe about a month now, where we disclosed some of the things, the roof leaking, coming in and call ancillary damage inside, as well as tiles popping, the lights in the hallway need putting back. We have railings that are rusted away and fall apart in some of the areas, and stairways that are dangerous for people. And when we did the estimated costing, it was about $2.2 million at that time to
That's the repair.
That's the repair.
Wow.
All right. And then when we looked at where the revenue is missing, we looked at and we got something like $4.9 million that is out there that is due to housing in arrears. So if you add the maths up, we down by about $7 million so to do anything. First, you have to put out 2.2, and you ain't getting almost 5. So you're down $7 million. In looking at the situation within the Phase 1 homes, we realized certain problems, and let me explain how. The Phase 1 home, the price people paid varied between about $137 to $140 to $400. That's what they paid a month.
Okay.
There's a few people in the one something, but most people are $2,000 to $4,000. To 400, sorry. 400
per month.
Right? So most people are between 200 to 250 around there to 400.
And what was the size of those homes?
The size of the units, they varied, because what happened is that when the Chinese company built Frequente, and then they built Monge, the units, the one-bedroom units was slightly different, slightly bigger. And then now in Phase 2, which is what I'm really going to speak about, the one and two bedroom are even bigger. They're small units, but they're even bigger than the first that came in the first phase. Let me give you an example. In the one bedroom in Phase 2 now, the new ones, you can put a king size bed inside there. All right.
Oh, okay.
And still have room, because we also put in cupboards and cabinets. And this is another thing about the Phase 2, because they put in cupboards and cabinets. That cost was about $4.7 million that the government has put in on its own. So it's not the government.
It's not part of the grant.
It's not part of the grant. No.
Okay.
And the government is also putting in water tanks. 100,000 gallon water tanks are going in each site. So that also has, and Nawasa is a system with that. That also has a local input, so that people could have water during June when that pressure is low and dry season. So what we looked at is why people are not paying and how we can get them to pay. And we send out letters and call people and so forth. And about only 10% responded. And when we looked at the actual payment, we noticed people's. Let me state it for a fact that some people were given special privileges. So some people were gifted a couple apartments, which means that when they die, it will go back to the state. Everybody else had a system where they either rented or lease to own, so that within the person who got the lease, if they died before they finished paying for it, the lease is ended, and housing has a right to start a new lease with somebody else. It doesn't mean that it's their children that is inside. It doesn't mean that the spouse, whoever living there, and that we saw as not good. In the end, the price that they pay every month is broken down into many different areas. So there's a maintenance component, there's a security component, that sort of stuff, and there's the actual component for the building. Housing Authority, when the previous administration did that, when they gave it to Housing Authority, they gave Housing Authority the authority to add 3% interest. So they were always paying interest of 3%. So that is the way, I guess, that is the way Housing Authority would get some money from that 3% interest and to maintain the place and so on. So when we faced with a situation where 80% of the persons were not paying or are not paying.
But why? What were the reasons behind this? And not just the reason, but okay, with any financial institution, be it the credit union, the bank, or whatever, whenever an activity like that or an instrument like that is being given to someone, there is some sort of punitive measure. So what were the measures in place if someone refuses to pay?
In what I understand from the previous manager is that they actually, with some persons, they actually took them to court and they were given judgment, but they was not able to enforce it. All right? And after a while, I guess, as the previous manager explained to me, that what is the point if the political will was not there to enforce it? People stopping the Housing Authority from enforcing it from a level higher than the courts. So
higher than the court.
So
that is kind of unheard of.
Right. Okay. But no.
So in essence, it was
political interference, right?
Okay.
So, or political will. Because if you wanted them out, they will get them out. So once that happened, it bred a situation whereby it's government-owned and government can't put me out, or would not put me out. Let me give you an example. People have been saying how the place is damaged so they wouldn't pay rent. When we look at or lease, when we looked at when people started not paying, some people started not paying from the first year. Right? They paid a few months and they stopped. And as you can see precipitously every year, more and more people, as the word spread, more and more people stop paying. And the building was not damaged yet. So those people are few who say that they stopped paying because the building was damaged and mold was coming in. That's few. Most people stop for other reasons than that. But there's a lot of other persons who did continue to pay. And several people have already owned a unit. But I don't want to get too much into that at this point in time. I want to lay that as a basis, that the people were paying, most of the persons were paying between $250 and $400. So here's what we did for phase 2. Now, as an institution, you have to learn from your mistakes. You can't continue to do the same thing the same way and expect a different result.
Except you're a madman.
Right. So here's what we said. Okay, we give the people the place, we sell the people the place for the same amount or similar amount that they would have paid before. So somewhere between $24,000 and $35,000 per unit, right? We added on the maintenance cost, because we know if you give them to, if they have to pay it separately, they won't pay it. So we added on the maintenance cost over a 20-year period, and then you get, with that over a 20-year period, you get $55,000 for a 1-bedroom unit and $73,000 for a 2-bedroom unit. What does that do? Once you pay for your place and everybody's in the place, housing has the money to repair, to fix, to do anything that you're asking them to do, that they're supposed to do, that is outside of your apartment. What is inside your apartment is you to fix, because it's your home. You own it. Now, before, in phase 1, people thought that the housing was supposed to fix everything, even if a light bulb go inside. But that's not what it was. They got a contract. The contract they signed with housing said, this is the size of your unit, this is how much you must pay, and these are the things that housing is responsible for fixing. And the rest is yours, which is exactly what it is, the outside areas, right? So we are doing the same thing. We are saying that we talk to the financial institutions. The financial institutions have started coming back to us. We have asked them for the same 3% that was added before. We asked the financial institutions to do 3%, because the entity that you have is, the property that you have is worth much more, because we selling it at 55% less than what it's really worth.
Than market value.
Than market value.
Okay.
So the 75. Of course, not of market value. Of course, the $73,000 unit is actually worth $204,000. The 55 unit is actually worth $140,000. So when somebody buys, they immediately have that amount of worth, equity
there, yeah.
Immediately. Secondly, it is easier for the housing authority, because now that you have the maintenance cost, you can maintain. What are they paying? With 3% interest, all right, to 5% interest, somebody who has a $55,000 home would pay between $200 and $32. And if you get it for 30 years, you get $232. And if you get it for 20 years, if you decide that you want to pay more, you can get it for 20 years for $300.
A month. Wow.
Right. So let's talk about that. That's a 1-bedroom. A 1-bedroom with 2 Imani persons living in it. They're getting $1,000 each. That's $2,000. They can definitely afford a 1-bedroom apartment. And as I told you, the 1-bedroom apartment is quite the bedroom itself in that unit. You can take on a queen and a king size bed. Right? I see that as low income. Somebody who is working for $60 a day, 20 working days in a month, is getting $1,200, could definitely afford that unit.
They should be.
Right? They should be able to afford it. Yes. So this is the working poor. People who are working everyday little jobs could afford the unit, because that is what was done in phase 1. Phase 1 wasn't given away. It was given to people to pay, and everybody started paying. Now, what we have asked the financial institutions is that please cater for persons who are self-employed, in that don't do the loans that they have to pay every month. You could probably change it up to every 3 months, every 4 months, twice a year, because when they get that lump sum, they can come in and pay. So we have asked them, it's up to the financial institution, but we have asked them, just as how NIS has gotten to the point where self-employed people paying NIS could come in and pay in chunks rather than every month. So that is on board. We have had 2 credit unions coming back to us immediately and saying, hey, you're going to get it under 5%. Probably closely around 4, a little bit under 4%. So they're very close to what I'm talking about here. In the one that is $73,000, if you take it for 30 years, and they're willing to give 30 years, you will only pay at 3% $308
per month.
Per month.
Okay.
All right? But even at 4%, you'll be able to pay about just around $400 or a little less than that. All right? Per month. So it depends on where you are. If you tell the financial institutions that I could only pay $350, they would decide with the interest rate how many years they could give you for that. It's not so hard. No, the others haven't come back to us yet, and we're waiting for NIS and the other regular banks and so forth to come back. But we know for sure you can get up to 30 years. We know for sure all they're asking you for, like couple of the credit unions, is your job letter. And you, just as how you fill out in the bank, what are your liabilities? In other words, what are your expenses for the month?
Your budget.
Your budget,
yeah.
right? Some might ask you to join, and others might not ask you to join. They just get it straight off. So it's not you need any land papers and you need any length of time. Actually, one of them tell us that once you have that, you get it within 48 hours. You get approval for the loan. So it is quite easy to get this loan. But you're buying it from the financial institutions. So people shouldn't be frightened. We have a meeting for those in Grenada, the candidates who got the selected in Grenada on the 13th of October. And they would be at the Trade Center Annex, and we would explain to them all that you need to do to get a loan. And added to that, the financial institutions will be there to further explain how easy it is to get this loan, because these are special conditions.
So in essence, it's the housing authority reached out to the financial sector and say, well, how can you accommodate prospective buyers?
Yes.
Okay.
We did that.
And they responded.
And they responded, right? So we're just waiting for the official letters to come back and say we will give them this. But even on the day, on the 13th, and in Carriacou, we had to change the Carriacou date to the 20th now. But on the 13th of October, we will explain in detail to the persons who got that letter saying that you've been selected, how you can go about and owning it. Now, you can buy it outright, and a couple of persons have indicated to Housing Authority that they would buy it outright.
So they're getting the funding and they just buy it?
Yeah, they might have had the money in the bank.
Yeah.
Or they would just buy it outright. So they don't need to go to the bank. They'll just come to the house and buy it outright. A couple of people have indicated that already. So the average person who doesn't have that stored up, I'm just showing you how you're making two people making $1,000, $1,200. Obviously, with 15, you have different categories of persons. People who just joined the workforce, people who've been there for a while, but that's where the salary range is, and they want to make a difference. Now, what we have noticed in housing is that there are a lot of categories of income and circumstances which make people can't afford a home. One, the land is expensive, and the size of land that is being sold is just making it harder for them to buy land and then build because of the salary range, and they have to wait a very long time. So there are a lot of working people who can't find land that they could afford, and therefore can't have a home. You have a situation, simple situations whereby people just, according to their salary range, they just never will be able to qualify for any loan.
That's sad, eh?
And that is sad. That is working people,
right? That's really sad.
So, Housing Authority and Ministry of Social Development have several programs. There's a program in the Ministry of the Social Development where people who are elderly and really down on their luck, and or people who would have been domestic workers for most of their lives and they don't have much, they would come and they would fix their home, have a brigade go and fix their home, and that started giving people material in the previous administration. This administration has a brigade that come and build for you, right, with small payments or whatever it is, but they build for that level. Then there's a Housing Authority itself has a soft loan program, very soft. $40,000 you can get for people who can qualify to get loans at the financial institution, the regular financial, including the credit union. You can come and get this to fix up your little house. So we catering for that. This is very soft loan, and the previous governments have given $4 million each year for that soft loan program. And now we have a second area of low-income homes, and we're catering for another set of people. It is difficult to cater for all the poor in every program if you call people poor.
The nice word that likes being used, vulnerable.
Well, I'm not using the word vulnerable in that sense. I just think that what they're trying to do is uplift people. Imagine you give somebody purchase a home. They put a pride in it, they treat it differently from before. And as housing authorities' perspective and the government's perspective also, is that you give them something of value, of equity, with equity. Somebody falls sick and they want to get $20,000 for that person. They have equity in their home
on the house
that they could use. They don't have to have a motorcade to do it. And they work out that with a financial institution. Somebody wants to send their child to university or to college or to well, no, college is almost free. I can't say college again. But even on, they could have some. So we have some leverage. People don't understand, and low income persons sometimes they don't understand what that means. How the value in their home could be used to get a loan. Previously, when you dealing with condominiums, and we got a gift from the Chinese. Once you get a gift, what do you do with that gift? You try to treat it properly.
You cherish.
So people say, hey, I've heard in the media, we got a gift, so it's supposed to be free. And I said to myself, well, what kind of thinking is that?
Okay, tell you what. Before we go into this, we need to take a commercial break. This is a little block all by itself that I want us to tackle. So we take a quick commercial break. We'll be back after these messages, folks. Stay tuned. All right, the conversation continues.
Welcome to Housing Authority of Grenada, Sustainable Housing Development Affordable One-Bedroom Housing Units. Our units are thoughtfully designed, modern and spacious, ensuring you have ample room to live and relax. Each unit is fitted with adequate storage facilities and other amenities. In the kitchen, you will find overhead cupboards and spacious enough to accommodate your stove, washing machine, and fridge, giving you all the convenience you need in one place. We take pride in providing you with modern
Served Grenada for decades. We are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire and accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grenada, St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
Our 11th Grenlag Debates champion.
Grenlag Debates, more than just a competition.
That littering is not.
It's a national collaboration, nurturing curiosity, research, critical thinking, and confidence among our secondary school students all over Grenada.
We need to teach more cognitive.
Bright young minds are sparking powerful ideas.
Financial capital is just a passive factor.
Not just a debate. For the audience, it's a voyage of self-discovery. Our debaters dare us to be informed, to listen and respect different perspectives, even while we champion our beliefs. With the unwavering commitment of educators, public and private sector entities, the media, and an army of volunteers, this impactful national challenge unfolds every year between September and November. The Grenada Debates, shaping the way we think.
Hi, my name is Dwayne Thompson, co-owner and founder of Grenada Tours, Taxi and Rental. We provide transportation tours in the field of tourism. Being in the field of tourism, the pandemic have taught us that we need all the help we can get, which the NIF has been very helpful in doing so. But as a small business owner, we are even more excited right now with the new initiative that the NIF have launched, providing a little bit more flexibility for small businesses like ourselves. So we definitely encourage all of the small business to consider getting on board with the NIF and this new initiative that allows the level of flexibility that they have implemented.
Welcome back, viewers and listeners. It's The Conversation. I'm speaking with Mr. Hugh Thomas. He is the chairman of the Grenada Housing Authority, and we're talking, the buzz on the market at the moment. We stopped at phase 2. And there's a perception out there. People, it's the conversation that the costing and the housing. It was a free project from the Chinese, so why are you selling it? What's your response to that?
The response is simple, and let me give you another example. There are many gifts that are given to the country. Somebody could give a gift in terms of a grant, which is money. Somebody could give a gift in a thing. Let's say it's an MRI or X-ray machine for the hospital. When you use the MRI and the X-ray machine, don't you pay?
Yeah.
You do, right? Because there's an operational cost and there's just bringing in revenue for the hospital. Housing is no different. The building needs maintaining. Are you asking the regular taxpayer, after they give you the place free, for the regular taxpayer to take their money and cut your lawn, power wash the ways, clean the gutter in? I think it's kind of unfair that a gift is given to somebody, even if you get it free. You have these maintenance issues to deal with, and you ask the taxpayer, the man on the street would even benefit from it, to come and pay. And you ask nothing of the persons who get into it. That can't be right. Ultimately, with condominiums, there is a maintenance issue. Personally, I don't believe they work well in the lower income bracket. I think condominiums, when you look at it in the States and stuff, it works better in a higher income bracket because people know they have to pay maintenance costs. All right? Regardless of what you pay for the condominium. However, gift or no gift, you have to keep it a certain way. I mean, you can't, again, on the other hand, somebody can give you a gift and the next day they pass, they have a gift in the garbage.
Yeah.
So you have to keep it a certain way. You want to make sure that it have to be maintained. Previously in phase 1, as I said, no serious maintenance have been done except if somebody who have influence to go and fix that person's unit. And it's not done across the board, right? So we clearly stated that if you did a stitch in time, it would save 9. You would not have had a $22 million cost right now if you were fixing little problems 6 years ago or 5 years ago or so.
So let me ask you this. Is it safe for me to come to the conclusion that the demise, if you want to use that word, of the housing, or the bad state, that financial state that the housing authority is at the moment, is it safe for me to say it's because of political overtures or mismanagement, or how do we term it? Because if it was run as it was supposed to be run, as a business, then we might not have been in this position. So how would you?
I would say a bit of bad policies. We've seen the result of bad policies. We don't have to hide and duck and dive. It is right in front of our eyes. The result of bad policies. It might be good intention, but it's a bad policy, right? So having said that, the housing authority getting a loan to buy a home in the housing authority is nothing new. It's only the fact that the low-income homes from the Chinese gift came in that people think that it's supposed to be free. Housing Authority have built homes in River Road and Frequente, and people went and get loans or paid housing directly and got those homes. So this is nothing new, and I mean, the older people could tell you a lot more. All right? It is nothing new. It is only new to the last generation or so, set of generations where and you should ask yourself, why does a nation have to wait till a foreign body give them buildings for home, and the nation can build it for themselves?
Well, not necessarily homes, houses. Yeah, houses. Because there's a difference between
a house and a home.
Yes.
Right? A nation's supposed to be able to take care of its at some level, to take care of persons. Let me go on further, all right, with bad policy. We have a soft loan program that we saw that probably has about 7 or 8 years of previous government giving $4 million to the soft loan. And they gave them 5 years to repay the soft loan, right? With almost $4 billion being used every year. After the 5th year, on the 6th year, the $4 million should come back. The first $4 million was issued will come back. After the 7th year, the second $4 million should come back. So you should have at least $8 million and you're starting off again. At a certain point, that fund should be just a revolving fund. The government shouldn't have to be paying into it again. Because that fund is so mismanaged, and it is people from the parliamentary office is not sending the candidates for the $4 million. Right? It results in a mismanaged fund. The same $4 million, instead of going on to help other people get new homes, other developments on the island has to go back into the same, and it's just a spinning top in mud. Only the same few people benefited. We could have gone and take several $4 million and built other homes ourselves. So we are spinning top in mud with those policies. That only one set of people, just one set of people at one generation, because even the next generation, you're not doing anything much for them. Yes, you're helping them, but they need to do their part. Just as how taxpayers take their money to give it, they need to do their part in just paying the little pittance that you ask them to pay, so that the fund could continue for other people to get and go on. All right? So we're seeing bad policies left, right, and center.
But as chairman now, are you able to arrest the situation and do the remedial work?
All right. So we started by saying we're going to fix the roof, the railings, and so forth of the phase 1 low-income homes. We have already issued letters for people to pay. We would continue to issue another letter, and then we go to the lawyer. And if it has to end up to the courts, we would do, and we will follow the action of the court, from garnished wages to whatever the courts say. But we will go after the low-income persons. The phase 1 low-income affordable homes who are not paying, who did not come in. No, we ask people to come in and talk to us. We ask people to explain the situation. We would work out a payment plan, right? And if they ignore all of that, then it would take its normal course. In phase 2, we are avoiding that by having people go for loans. Because if you could pay us $250, you could definitely pay the bank $250. So we don't see the problem with the same $250 that's coming out of your pocket. If you could pay us $275, you could pay the bank $275. right?
And the housing authority is making that buffering available by approaching the financial institutions.
And we hold their hands through it. We'll explain to them how it works. Some people are frightened because they have never gotten a loan, or they think that they wouldn't qualify because they have other expenses. And we tell them, no, they would work with you. They will work with you. There are many, many options, and they will work with you. Things that you're not even thinking about, they would work with you. So I'm afraid that some people would rule themselves out before they get a chance and say, I can't go, and I'll give it up. Right? I really, really hope that people would come, who selected, come to the meetings, understand what is available to them, but understand that gift, that great opportunity they have given themselves to lift themselves out of poverty, or to lift themselves into a better financial position over the years.
And one of the things that I like about that housing project is that what you're actually paying for the unit or units, it gives you a good equity with it, because it's worth much more than you're actually paying for. So you can use the equity on it to do other things.
You can do it. That is correct. And you own it. You can pass it to your children.
Yeah.
Right? You become a homeowner at the end of the day. If you figure you grow past that, after 10 years, and you want to move on to something else, you can sell it and move on.
Because it's yours. Yes.
You know?
We're running out of time, but there's something that I want us to touch base on. You have something in the pipeline, Project 500. What is that all about?
All right. So, in moving on, housing, again, as we learned, this style of condo homes is not the best for us. I want to give you something. A gentleman said to me, when you have a 1 and a 2 bedroom, you don't understand. Grenadians live with their parents or their grandparents. So there's no room in that for a grandparent to be living with or your parent to be living with you. You know, you might have 1 or 2 or whatever it is, as the case may be. Project 500 is going to put the Grenadian experience into those homes. So we'll have individual units of 2 and 3 and 4. We can make the adjustments that are Grenadian style homes with a little land, a little size, in an area where we would have several homes, and we would do a little park. Because if you put 100 home, you need a daycare center, you need some amenities.
So you're creating a village?
We're creating a village with that.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
And we up in the game. You know, it would be hurricane resistant, and so it's not necessarily it's for all persons. You will have it will be affordable homes. So just as how you're in a village, you have a big house, a small house, a middle-sized house, that you walk down the road, you would see that. It would not be all the same. So for people who say you should give it free or give it for low cost, let me give you the example of Lacalome. I just remember that. Lacalome is not part of the housing development, but it was where the government of Grenada, a gift from Venezuela after Hurricane Ivan. The people were charged $2,000 for the home, and there's still people who haven't finished paying yet. Wow. Or haven't paid. So no matter $2,000. So no matter for the entire thing. So no matter how little you give, if people don't want to pay, they don't want to pay. I gave that example just to say that people who say give it, no matter how little you give the people to pay, people don't want to pay. Right? But they own a home in Lacalome. They're not sharing anything with what I'm saying. They're not a big, units, individual units. So we are going to the next phase. We need to cater for all Grenadians, and Housing Authority is not going to be catering for the upper class. That's not the mandate. But we need to give affordable homes for all Grenadians who, within a certain range, can do for themselves or just can't find land, right? And that new housing project is going to cater for a wider range of Grenadians. All right? And in that housing project, you could have a condo, let's say 2 or, well, I believe that if it's going to be 3 stories, you need an elevator. So I don't know, I don't want to get into 3 stories. But if you have a condo, then a guy in New York or Germany could say, well, I want a piece of Grenada. I don't want no land to work. I ain't really coming back for that. I want to own that. I just pay my condo fee, and I buy the condo, and when I come back in Grenada, I sit down in my house.
I have my place.
Right? A Grenadian could say that too. I living here could say that. So we have a range of options with amenities. You know, you create a village, you create a system whereby people could have even a supermarket inside there, the roads, the sidewalks, and all of that. And that is what we'll be working on coming in the next year or two. That Project 500. We have several places around the island and Carriacou. Another thing, a lot of people was asking about Carriacou and what happened in Carriacou. In Dumfries. It's simple, all right? They're asking for the selection committee. Who's the selection committee now? But nobody asks who is the selection committee for the Dumfries just before election. They just hand out 92 names, give them letters and say you get it. They set up a committee. They didn't even go to committee.
Is it safe to say that procedure?
The procedure was wrong. Was flawed.
Okay.
Even they break their own procedure. They didn't go through the committee. And I dare anybody to say, well, I was on the committee and I decided for Carriacou and for Dumfries. Show me the committee. Who decided for Dumfries and Carriacou? Here, we took the names, we asked everybody to reapply. And in the end, when it went through the same process as Grenada, 54 of the 92 people were reselected under the criteria. Right? So it's a fair process. It's open to everybody.
Okay.
It's not victimization. It's no anything. We just went through. They have to qualify. And if I heard that some people lied on the application form, and they had very little income, and they may have put themselves out of being selected. You have to ask people, what did you put on the form? Because people who judge it, they misrepresented themselves.
Okay. Someone, I mean, we really out of time, but someone asked this question. If someone, let me see, all right, suppose they have their lands, but they are unable to build. They can't afford to build.
Oh, well, I believe housing has to now explain all the things that they do. You can come to housing. We can draw the plan for you, or you could bring the plan, and we'll build for you. And at the end of the day, it's a turnkey. You just come and you walk in.
And they pay housing.
And they pay housing.
You create a monthly payment.
No, they get a mortgage from the bank, and then we draw down on that. So if the house costs 250,000. 300,000, 350,000. They go to the bank and secure that. And then housing would bill for them.
Okay.
All right. We'll draw the plan. We'll go through physical planning authority and all of that.
All right.
Housing also has land in Dunfermline where they can sell land to persons, and we'll bill and do all of that for others. And we have land other places, but Dunfermline is the one that is most active
at the moment.
At the moment.
Well, I'm happy that you came and clarified some of the misconceptions that were brewing after your not so long ago press conference and so forth. I'm happy that you were able to do that, so the general public has a clearer idea as to what's really taking place, and I do hope that going forward that this current board learns from the mistakes of the past, and that you don't find yourself in similar problems.
Well, I want the public to know that the prices that they paid for the leases in phase 1, in phase 2 it will be in the same range. Most of it will be between 250, around there, 230, 250 to around 400, maybe 410, where in that range, depends on what people could pay and the length of years and the interest that the institution is going to charge. So it is within the same range. So if you could have paid it before, you would be able to pay it now. It's the same kind of persons that are targeted and the same criteria that was used.
Okay. All right, folks, this is where we got to pull the plug on the conversation. I want to say thank you to Mr. Hugh Thomas. He is the chairman of the Grenada Housing Authority, and for sharing with us this morning, clarifying a lot of misunderstandings and misconceptions. Thank you once again. This is where we end it. Those of you who listened, we were not actively engaging in calls and so forth as requested, but thank you for being there with us, and I do hope that it did clear up some of your misunderstandings and misconceptions. The BBC is up next. Don't you go anywhere.
Welcome to Housing Authority of Grenada Sustainable Housing Development, affordable 2-bedroom housing unit. Our units are thoughtfully designed, modern, and spacious, ensuring you have ample room to live and relax. Each unit is fitted with adequate storage facilities and other amenities. In the kitchen, you will find overhead cupboards and spacious enough to accommodate your stove, washing machine, and fridge, giving you all the convenience you need in one place. We take pride in providing you with modern and easy-to-use fixtures in the bathroom, ensuring your daily routines are hassle-free. As we move into the master bedroom, you'll discover a closet that provides ample storage space for your belongings, helping you stay organized and clutter-free.